Okay, I'm recording.
Yeah, right. Are you sure?
Okay, systems of equations. When you were in Algebra 1, do you remember? Okay, first off, what is a system of equation? Okay, two or more equations. And what's your answer? How do you find your answer?
Like cancel out the x to get the y.
Okay, so that's one method, is elimination.
Substitution.
Substitution.
Graphically.
Graphing.
Ooh.
Okay, then when you got to Algebra 2, you learned a new method. What does it start with? An M.
Magic.
How about matrices?
Matrices.
Some of you learned Kramer's rule. Some of you did row echelon form, depending on when you took Algebra 2. Okay, but you have, for today we have two equations. Where they intersect, that's what you're trying to find. So your answer is always going to be a coordinate point. Now, if you're not given x and y, how do you know which one comes first in the parentheses? So like, let's say I'm given a and b. A comes first, why?
Alphabetically.
Okay, that doesn't apply when we get to this. I know, it doesn't apply, I'm sorry. Okay? But with 2, it applies. First in the alphabet comes first in your parentheses. These are not solution sets, these are points. So parentheses. Okay? Now, I really don't care what method you use. I like elimination the best, so that's what I'm going to use. If you want to graph, I got a graph paper over here, you can graph them. If you like substitution, if you remember matrices, you want to do matrices, that's fine. I like this method, so that's what I'm going to use. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do elimination. Does anything eliminate automatically? The y's. Okay, so you're looking for the variables. They should have the same number. One should be positive, one should be negative. So my y's are going to cancel, and then I add down. So what's x plus x? 2x. And then 4 plus 1 is 5. So then how would I solve for x? Add by 2. So x equals 5 over 2. Okay, how would I find y?
Plug it in.
Plug it in. Okay, does it matter which one you plug it into?
Not really.
No. Which one do you want? First one or second? First one? Okay, so if I do the top one, I have 5 halves. If you want to put 2.5 instead of 5 halves, that's fine. This is just easier for me to solve it in my head without a calculator. Okay, then I would subtract 5 halves. So then I have 2y plus 3 halves. And how do I get rid of the 2? 5 by 2, which is the same thing as multiplying by a half, if I'm doing it in my head. So I get y is 3/4. Okay, your answer needs to be a point. So what would my point be? 5 halves 3/4. Okay, and you have to have parentheses. Just boxing it in doesn't count. It's a point. So I'm showing it as a point. You like this better than what we were doing?
Yes.
A lot.
Why do you put that thingy on there?
It's just the way it shows up. So show it's a system. You don't have to. I'm just trying to be consistent the way you see in the book. Okay, does anything cancel immediately here? No. Okay, so then you pick. Do you want to cancel x's or y's?
Y's. X's.
Y's.
Y.
Either or.
I'm going to do Okay, so if I have 3 and 2, I'm going to do the x's. If I have 3 and 2, what's something, a multiple that they would have in common? 6. Like they both go into 6. So I need to make one of them a positive 6 and one of them a negative 6. So I'm going to make the first one positive. So what would I need to multiply it by? 2. Good. What would I multiply the second one by? Negative 3. Good. Okay, you have to do whole equation, both sides. So I would have, my first equation would be 6x plus 4y equals 20. Then my second equation would be negative 6x minus 15y equals negative 9. X's cancel. Negative 11y equals 11. And then what would I do? Divide by negative 11, so y equals. Then what would I do? Plug it in. First equation or second equation? First. So I'd have 3x plus 2 times negative 1 equals 10. So 3x minus 2 equals 10. Add 2. So 3x equals 12. Divide by 3. X equals 4. So what would my point be? Alright, questions we have on the first two? Feeling pretty good? Yeah, good. Great. Like Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes.
What are you doing, Julie?
You just said that.
When did you do the girl right? No, she said.
Okay, we're gonna do 2 of them that have fractions, and then we'll do story problems. So you know how much you love story problems. Okay, fractions. If you have an equation that has fractions in it, don't try to make the other equation that have fractions. Get rid of those fractions. So how you get rid of it is, well, this one has the same denominator. These have different ones, so we'll talk about both of them. If they have the same, you just multiply by that denominator. So I'm going to multiply the top equation, every single thing, by 5. So when I do that, my equation would become 9x plus 6y equals 20. And my second equation I didn't do anything with. So then you don't have fractions anymore. Okay, now or get something and cancel, what would I have to do? Okay, you gotta multiply one of them by negative 1. So first one or second one? So my first one would stay the same. Then this one would be negative 9x minus 6y equals negative 3. X's and y's both cancel, so I have 0 equals 17.
Oh, that doesn't work. That's a no
So
solution.
no solution. What if you got 0 equals 0?
Infinite.
Infinite many. IMS. If you don't want to write out no solution, you just circle the line through it. If you don't want to write out infinitely many solutions, you can write IMS.
I'm so savage.
Why did you laugh when I said no solution?
Everybody good on that one? Okay. What about on number 4? They're not the same denominator. Does anybody know what we do?
Yeah, get it.
Okay.
Common fraction.
I think you're on the same. It's called least common multiple. So you'd figure out what do they both go into. So the smallest thing they both go into is 12. Now if you
You're like hardly on the camera.
I am the problem.
Well, yeah, the problem's like halfway cut off.
Solution.
You can't see the like equals 12.
What do you think they said? Tell me.
Okay. Don't lean back too far, okay?
Yeah,
You like snap and chill.
Yeah, she can pull us that.
Okay, so you would multiply both sides by 12. Okay, now, how many times does 4 go into 12?
3 times.
3. So this would be 3 times x plus 3 for the first part. Okay, how many times does 3 go into 12?
4.
So then this part would become 4 times y minus 1 equals 12. Does that make sense? Because you multiply by 12, 4 goes into 12 3 times, 3 goes into 12 4 times, 1 times 12 is 12. Okay, now I need to get this equation to look like this, x, y, and a number. Okay, so you're going to distribute. So I have 3x plus 9 plus 4y minus 4 equals 12. So I'd have 3x plus 4y plus 5 equals 12. Everybody good on how I got plus 5? Okay, then I would subtract 5. So I have 3x plus 4y equals 7. Okay, so that's my first equation. And then my second equation would just stay the same. You know, what I'm saying now. Okay, so what are we going to do to solve? Multiply the bottom one by 4. Right?
Yeah.
So this would be 3x plus 4y equals 7. And the bottom would be 8x minus 4y equals 48. Y's cancel. So I'd have 11x equals 55. So that means x equals. And how would you find y? Plug it in.
The bottom.
You okay with the bottom one?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 times 5 minus y equals 12. 10 minus y equals 12. So if I subtract 10, I have negative y equals 2. So what's y equal to?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So what's my point?
5 negative 2.
5
negative
2.
Smack the boxes.
Alright, ready to do story problems?
No.
I'll write them up here and then I'll move the camera.
How about it towards the opposite?
We're doing 2 of them. But if I didn't do these, and you guys went through your story problems, you'd be like, I don't know if I did.
At least you started off with a good story. Burgers.
That sounds so good right now.
Burgers and fries.
I know. That's not what that is.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. See that?
Oh.
This is my kind of story problem right here.
Small. If you got 2 small
We just discussed it.
3 cheeseburgers.
And it's National Fast Food Day.
3 cheeseburgers.
Yes, it is.
I bet that's like
Yeah, Abby looked it up today.
1,300.
Oh shoot, this is super Caloric.
It's always a national day for something. Why not do this in America?
13.
I can't resist.
Shh, you're on video. You act like we care.
You could not record it back.
You guys good? Ready to do the first one? I'll give you time to copy down the second one. Is everybody good to do this one? I'll finish that one up in a second, but I'll give you time to write it down. Okay, so 2 cheeseburgers and 1 small order of french fries contain a total of 850 calories. 3 cheeseburgers and 2 small orders of french fries contain a total of 1,390 calories. Find the caloric content of each item. Okay, so we need to write a system. What variables do you want to use?
X and Y.
C and F.
No.
L and W.
X and
You can
Y.
use C and F. Okay, what's C gonna stand for?
French fries.
Cheese. And F will be your french fries?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have a question similar that deals with, I think, like apple juice and orange juice, maybe. Okay, anybody tell me what our equations will be?
2X plus Y. Oh, no.
2C plus F equals 850 is one of them, good.
3C plus 2F equals 190.
Does everybody understand how we came up with those 2 equations? No?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so it says 2 cheeseburgers and 1 small order of french fries is 850. So that's how we got the 2C and 1F equals 850. Okay, then the second sentence, 3 cheeseburgers and 2 small orders of french fries, so 3C and 2F was 1,390. Okay, what do you want to cancel? The F, so you're going to multiply the first one by -2. So I would have -4C minus 2F was -1,700. So 3C plus 2F equals 1,390. So that means -C equals -310. Divide by -1, so C equals 310.
This is easy joke.
Okay, how do I find F?
Plug in C.
You okay to tell you the first one?
Yeah.
So 2 times 310 plus F equals 850. So this would be 620. plus F equals 850. And then I would subtract 620. So F is 230. Okay, story problems require labels. So you need to there's no points. We need to say what's going on. So what is C equal 310? What does that mean?
How many calories are in the cheeseburger?
Okay, so that means the cheeseburger has
310 calories.
310 calories. Okay, what about French fries?
It's got,
230.
yeah, 230.
For an order, not one single french fry.
Correct, for an order of small French fries.
Small.
Okay, so no points on the story problems. Answer the question. Okay. Alright, last one. Okay, a total of $12,000 is invested into 2 corporate bonds that pay 7.5% and 9% simple interest. The investor wants an annual interest income of $990 from the investments. What amount should be invested in the 7.5% bond? Okay, I need 2 variables.
L
L?
and W.
What's L going to stand for? I don't mind using L and W, but we have to have something that they stand for. What are the 2 things we're talking about?
We're talking about.
Or what are you trying to find?
Bond.
You're trying to find each bond. So we gotta make one of the variables a 7.5% bond. What's the other bond we're talking about?
9.
The 9% bond.
I just took them all.
Okay, anyone know what our equations would be?
Let's see, 1,200.
Okay, how much money is invested? 12,000. Do we know how much was invested from either one?
Yeah.
No, so if I take my money from the first bond, my money from the second bond, that has to equal 12,000, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the other amount of information we're given? 990. What does the 990 mean?
It's the interest.
The annual interest.
Okay, that's the interest. So if I know this is 7.5% bond, that means I'm making 0.075 off of that bond. And how much am I making off the other bond? 0.09. And how much money am I making off of it? 990. Okay, what is it asking me for this problem?
How much should be invested?
What amount should be
7.5.
Okay, so the only thing I have to find is L, right? Because it just says how much is invested in 7.5. So if I need to find L, what variable am I going to cancel?
W.
W.
Okay, I don't like decimals. Do you like decimals?
Hate
I
them.
don't
Okay,
like
so I would get rid of them. Just like I got rid of the fractions in this problem, I would get rid of the decimals. Do you know how to do that?
Multiply.
Multiply
by 100.
by
100.
Okay, multiply by 100.
Well, if I multiply by 100, that's only gonna give me 7.5.
Up to 1,000.
I have to multiply by 1,000. So, you multiply by the biggest decimal space. If it's one decimal space, that's 10, 2 is 100, 3 is 1,000. So my first equation is still the same. My second equation now would become 75L.
Can we get negative 1,000?
If you want to. Plus 90W, sorry, equals 990000.
That should be a jingle.
I wish I could make that.
Okay, what variable are we trying to cancel? W. So what would I multiply this first equation by? Negative.
Negative 90.
So I'd have negative 90L minus 90W equals negative, I don't want to forget a 0, 108 and 4 zeros. Okay, so what happens?
Negative 15L.
Negative 15L equals negative 90,000. And then how would I find L? Divide by negative 15?
6K.
Okay, what does 6,000 mean?
That's how much should be invested.
Okay, in what?
Invested.
The 7.5 bond.
Okay, so on the 7.5% bond, why did I put a dollar sign?
That's money.
Money being
Money.
invested.
Money, yay.
Okay, that will get you all the way through the 515 assignment. Okay? Don't wait until the last second to do your homework. Don't try to come in here on Tuesday and get all 30 of those problems done. Not saying it's impossible, just saying don't do it. You'll be really stressed out for no reason right before Thanksgiving break.
Am I in that right?